Hey guys, what's up? Toppe here. Recently on my stream, I hosted a 1v1 tournament where the winner takes $100. So in this video I thought we should analyze some of these 1v1 matchups and see how it goes. It's probably not the last 1v1 tournament that I host for $100, so if you guys ever want to be participating in these, you can always join them in my stream or in my Discord where I post them. Otherwise, enjoy the video. Alright, so before we jump into the matchup, let me just tell you guys how you actually win. So the 1v1 matchup will be played in top lane, where they will be playing for 100 CS, the first blood or the first tower. Whoever reaches one of those first will win the 1v1 matchup. If we look at this matchup, which is Anivia on the Legend Lale and Toppe on Seraph, then the matchup is generally favored to Anivia after level 6 because of her enormous wave clear and her wall. But even though it is slightly favored to Anivia, this matchup is still considered a skill matchup. Seraph has to be really good at landing his skill shots, and if he can do that, he might be able to poke Lale out of the lane and then just take over the game through that. Or if he lands one of those E's, which is really difficult, but if he can land an E, he might even be able to kill Lale. Another really important thing you'll notice in this matchup is that Lale has gone with Ignite, while Seraph has gone with the Teleport, so he also has the angle to just straight up play for 100 CS, since that's a lot easier since Lale doesn't have the Teleport. So honestly, if Seraph wanted to play this safe, he could just look for a 100 minion angle, but he could also try and look for the first blood on Anivia if he steps up or something. But he also really gotta be careful he doesn't just get walled behind him and then straight up wombo combo to death. In the beginning of the game, we can see that they both started Dawn's ring and 2 potions. Anivia starts out poking and dodging the Seraph, so he's already a little bit ahead in traits, but this shouldn't matter too much in the current matchup. And there you go. Seraph just hit a Q back, so now they're pretty much that even again. So you can see how the Anivia really wants to have prior in this lane, and I think he just want to play for the early level 2, because Anivia is really like heavy burst damage level 2, because if you hit a Q and E, then you proc electrocute and it's just a huge hunger burst. Meanwhile, the Seraph is just really holding back, and he is trying to just hit some Qs in the background while Anivia is pushing. So right now he's last hitting, and it's also really important you get these last hits, right? Because whoever gets 100 CS first will win the game, so always gotta keep up in that CSing. But at this very moment, they're both pretty much even. Seraph starts W second, which I like. I could even argue he should have started that honestly first, because it's one of those skill shots that's almost impossible to miss. But it also means that Anivia can just walk up right now because he has no E, so he isn't really afraid of getting punished. And I feel like that's also what we're seeing here, right? Anivia is just walking up because he knows Seraph has no E. Seraph is using a lot of abilities right now, kind of just out in the air, and he's almost already which is not the best. He has his E now, but he has no follow-up damage with his E, so he actually loses that trade. You see? So Anivia is like super cheese comp. You see, missed her Q, but because an auto will still proc the... Holy, okay, flash from the bush out from Anivia, and... he actually... Oh, I thought he would get his egg from... Oh, he does get his egg from that. Okay, so that means that now if he does manage to kill him one more time, he wins the game based on first blood. So I guess that's one of the more broken things about these 1v1 matchups, is that Anivia actually has like an extra life. But it is first blood, and the announcer hasn't said anything yet, so that's what we're playing for. Seraph is like really from mana right now, so you just gotta try and get those passive procs onto Anivia to try and gain some mana. He could also just try and like clear this wave and then come back with Teleport and full mana. Oh no, he's missing a lot of minions, which is not good. So I would recall here and Teleport back. Yeah, I think that's what he's gonna go for. He did do it right in front of him. Yeah, okay, Anivia is gonna cancel him. I was about to say, like, he did do it right in front of him though, so it would make sense for him to get cancelled down. He's gonna buy a Sapphire Crystal. And 3 potions. I don't know about that. I would probably just abort. amplifying tome and refillable. So we don't know where Nivea is. He might cheese from the bush, but he also might have just backed to try and match. So right now we're just like last hitting. The wave should be slowly pushing into Seraph, so I think this is good. That he's just last hitting. Just like denying Nivea as much CS as possible here, so it's nice. And like I said, he does have teleport, so looking for 100 CS is definitely like a thing he could be playing for. But I think from their playstyle right now, they both seem very willing to trade. So the chances of one of them getting caught is really big. Okay, the wave will now slow push into Nivea. He misses the Q. Oh, Seraph, you can't miss all your abilities like that. So if I was Seraph right now, I would just look to hard shove this wave, because it's not the best wave state to be in for Seraph. And it's actually a lot easier to punish Nivea while this wave is on the tower, because then every time he goes for... There you go. Nice. So every time Nivea now goes for any... Okay. Holy shit, dude. 1 Q and he's dead. Damn, close. And Nivea staying here is so fucking risky because he has no egg. If he gets hit by one ability, he's dead. And that's kind of what I mean. Like, if Seraph hits an E, he can pretty much just one-shot Nivea. He was one ability of one-shotting him though. He should just take the wave here though. He's focusing way too hard on hitting this last spell. It's way better if he just focuses on pushing in the wave and then denying Nivea as much as humanly possible. Like, I would just hard shove this wave. But I think he's not gonna look to do that because he's hoping Nivea will walk up. But there's no way Nivea does not just recall here. Like, you just need to hard shove those and reset yourself. And then take the 1.5 wave lead that you just got from this. But right now he's not doing that, which means Nivea will come back and he will only lose like maybe 4 or 5 minions, while he could have denied like probably 9. Like, he could for sure deny this entire wave. And probably a good amount of the next one as well. Like maybe 1 melee, and then yeah, the cannon wouldn't die. So like one entire wave and a melee. And he would get a back off it himself. And Nivea just came back now from a reset, which Seraph gotta be really careful about because he's still sitting on this mana tier. So he can really easily just get engaged on here and die. He's out of mana, he has no flash, they used that earlier. And here you can see he just gets engaged on and now he's just dead, I think. Yep, he just gets run down by Nivea. So he didn't really respect that Lele had a third back, where if he had reset his back, he would at least have gotten to match him in items. So I would say it's a huge misplay from Seraph not to just push in that wave fast and then take the 1.5 lead of waves and minions till you get there, and then back as well, because that way you're much more safe than this happening where, like, okay, so there's multiple reasons to why it's so good to do that. One, the wave will be pushing back into you, so you don't have to stand out in the middle of the lane against an Nivea, which can easily get you caught because she can just wall behind you. Second, you're gonna have more items most likely than her, because you're backing with 1.5 extra wave of gold than she has. I mean, I feel like those are both like really good genuine reason. And third, you're getting a mana reset because you're pretty low on mana before that. So I mean, no matter what there, I think it's a huge misplay. He doesn't recall, and I think that's the reason he gets killed. Alright, the next matchup is Syndra versus Caitlyn. And in this matchup, Syndra is generally favored in this matchup because she is able to poke Caitlyn down from out of range of Caitlyn. And if Syndra does land a QE, she might potentially one-shot the Caitlyn. On the other side, Caitlyn's stronger options is 100% playing for the wave management. Caitlyn is an AD champ, so manipulating the waves is a bit easier without using up all the mana, which leaves more room to poke with abilities. So if Caitlyn does land a trap, she might be able to punish Syndra hard enough to force a recall and then gain a lead in minions. And I mean, if Syndra refuses to recall, she might even be able to find a kill on her. So I would say in this matchup, I'm really hoping to see that Caitlyn plays for the CS advantage and then just tries to poke Syndra, while Syndra's probably gonna look for all-ins on the Caitlyn. Alright, and starting on the matchup, we can see Syndra already went 1Q for Caitlyn poke. While right now, Jaybu seems to try and just take control of the wave. You can also see that, like, Caitlyn is just faster at the pushing the wave, even if he doesn't throw all of his abilities at the wave. Like, he just threw a Q there, but that was mainly for the Syndra, I believe. It was at least directed towards her. Let's go for the headshot on her. He has fleet footwork. Oh no, it is grasp to stay a little bit tankier against the burst, I assume. Meanwhile, Syndra has AoE just to probably have the rune that burns you when you hit someone as well. So it's more like for the most damage possible. Okay. So Caitlyn already getting hit. But he has a lot of potions, longsword and 3 pots, so he can take a few hits. Same with the Syndra, she has the corruption potion, so same deal goes down. So right now we're just gonna see them trade in CS for a little bit. And I mean, from this kind of perspective, I think Caitlyn will win in the long run. But Syndra's also, she needs a back before she can one-shot her and her level 6. So right now, Caitlyn isn't really in that big of a threat. Like, it becomes much more risky to stay alive once you have a Syndra level 6. And she has no flash, so if she gets caught, she's pretty much out of it, except her barrier can tank it all. Otherwise, they both have teleport to go for the 100 farm. Okay. And he already burns barrier. That is not good, Caitlyn. That was really early, honestly. That barrier was not needed. He had like half health left, and if you look at Syndra's mana, it's like literally beyond 0. Anyways, I think Kate maybe wants to push this on. He could pop a cookie and just hard shove this. As long as Syndra's staying, I would stay 2 on Kate. Because right now she's so it's really hard for her to farm on the tower. So like here, if Syndra's staying, I would stay. You have a potion and a cookie, but he doesn't do it. He takes the bag. It's the main reason for staying is because Syndra absolutely cannot farm on the turret when she's So, and she's gonna use all of that little mana she has there up really fast. But Kate just uses a TP right away, and that mainly is gonna force Syndra to TP back as well. So he could leave this wave now to slow push into him to deny a bit more. I think he was looking to cancel the recall. He's not gonna cancel that much here. He should really hit the trap on the, if Syndra TPs to a minion, he should hit a trap here. Please. Oh no, he doesn't hit the trap. So if you guys don't know, a little tip to all Caitlyn mains out there. When people TP to a minion, they will always come out towards their base. So you saw how Syndra came out of the teleport on the deck on the downside of the lane. That's because that's, you know, straight center from base. And one thing I actually don't know is if it's because people only TP from there. So like if Syndra TP'd from Caitlyn's base, would she come out from her side of the base? I actually don't know that. I just know that everyone TPs from base. Actually top laners don't. So I believe that every time you TP, you'll come out from center of your own base, which makes it really easy to land traps. So always just put a trap down behind the minion towards the center of the base, and you'll guarantee hit it every time. That's something I learned myself, because obviously I play a lot of Caitlyn. So that's just a tip out there if you guys didn't know. Right now Caitlyn has 13 minion lead. Kinda scared to walk up. Syndra is level 5 still. Gonna hit level 6 here in this wave, and then Caitlyn really gotta be careful. He got a Vampire Scepter, so he's just trying to survive. I'm not sure if Vampire Scepter is the right decision here, because like, yeah, Syndra does have a bit of poke, but I feel like he might just one-shot you through the Vampire Scepter. Oh no. Oh no, Kate. He has barrier. Is he dead here? He is dead here. Okay, Syndra takes the first blood. And that was kind of my point. I mean, if we rewatch the last fight here, from here, we can see how Syndra is like walking up to the Kate and Kate doesn't really respect him, and then he just ults him right away. And I think he has a low chance of living here if he just keeps running, maybe with the barrier. But unfortunately he does go down, and yeah, the flash difference really made it hard to escape. And if you guys didn't know, that match right there was also the finals, so the Legend Lele is actually the one who won the tournament. But yeah, guys, if you ever wanted to join one of these 1v1 tournaments yourself and have a chance of winning $100, my Discord link will be down in the description. That's where you can always find out how to join and when I host another one. Otherwise, I really hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you found it a bit informative as well. And yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. You can check out my streams, Discord, all that stuff will be down in the description. And if you're interested in coaching, you can also check out in the Discord. I have like the whole program and how I usually do. And there's also a lot of people who already wrote a review. So if you're like skeptical of me or something, or you think I'm a terrible coach, I mean, maybe someone wrote a bad review, honestly. So you can go check that out. Otherwise, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you on my streams or in the next video. Peace out, guys. Much love.